Okay, today we're going to talk about how to price mowing or any kind of job. So I'm a part of a lot of Facebook groups, and I see all the time. Could be from new people, could be from existing people that have been doing lawn mowing for a long time, or any other kind of job. It doesn't really matter. And I learned all this through a book written by Vanderkoy and Associates. I'm not sure you can find this book anymore. Search on Amazon. It's How to Price Your Jobs. And everything was based on the hour. And that's where I learned all of this, was through the Vanderkoy and Associates program. And I highly recommend that if you can find the book by Charles Vanderkoy. It's excellent, and you read it, it's gonna make your stomach hurt. It's gonna make your stomach hurt because you know you're underpriced. And it made my stomach hurt, and it keeps me up at night even to this day. And I rarely worry that I'm overpriced. I worry more that I'm underpriced. Okay, so let's get into this. So the first thing you have to do is you have to time yourself, and this goes for really anybody, but for this example, I'm going to use the person that's just starting out and mows lawns all by themselves. So you're going to use your iPhone, a stopwatch, whatever you want to do, and you're going to pull up to whatever type of job you're doing. Well, for this example, mowing, and you're going to time yourself on every job that you do, and you're going to be, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, just insane about timing yourself on everything. You're going to be so dialed in, and you need to do it on every job that you do. And you need to do it for for a long time, not just one. It's going to take a couple years actually for you to dial this in, and the more you time yourself, the more you're going to realize, oh hey, I need to improve this or do it. So over time you're going to get better at it, but just know, time yourself. Okay, and it doesn't matter how you do it, so just time yourself. Now once you time yourself, you'll come up with a baseline. And out of that baseline, you're going to need to have an oops factor. An oops factor is somewhere between 5 and 15%. And this is for when your employees forget the hedge trimmers and they drive all the way across town, get to the first job. They realize they forgot the hedge trimmers, have to drive all the way back to the shop and get them. That's an oops factor type of thing. And that's going to be anywhere from 5 to 15%. Now, if they're managed well, 5%. If they're not managed so well, somewhere in the 15% range. But you'd be surprised. It's in between here, and it's probably closer to the 15%. So an employee factor. So something to realize is, like, when you're timing yourself, you have to remember, like, one day you're going to get to where you want employees. Maybe you do or you don't. There's nothing wrong with, let me just say, there's nothing wrong about mowing or spraying lawns and you being a one man show. Invest your money right, and at the end of the day, you might come out the same as somebody that built a big business if you invest your money right, but that's got to be part of it. So, and this is more than you think. So if you go out and mow a yard and it takes you, let's say, 30 minutes, what is it going to take the hired person? How long is it going to take them? And it's going to be some amount more than what it took you. And that number is probably going to be bigger than you think, somewhere in the 25 to 30% range. So keep that in mind. But you won't know until you start timing your employees. So why I say this is, like, if you start to get enough jobs and you get an opportunity to bid on a commercial job, you can't use the times that you use for yourself, because eventually you'll be underbid on everything. So keep that in mind. That's why I say you employee factor, because when you get employees one day, they're not as efficient as you are, and the more employees you have on a job site, the less efficient that job site is going to be. So if you've ever seen one of your competitors and they have like 5 guys and they're mowing residential yards, they're not making any money. I don't care how much volume they do. That is not a way to do it. So just know that those guys that are driving all that big equipment, they got 5 guys jumping out of the truck to do a 5,000 square foot lawn. They're losing money. Downtime. This is a hard one. This is hard to track. I go a long way to track the downtime in my business. I have a really good idea of what the downtime is, and you're going to have to time this too. So you're gonna have your time that you start in the morning, and then you're done for the day, and then you have your jobs that you spent time on site, and then what's left over is downtime. And that downtime includes drive time. So the tighter your route is, the less of this you're going to have, and then the more people you have in the truck, the more drive time you're going to have, because 3 employees driving to Mrs. Jones' house across town takes 5 minutes. Well, now that's 15 minutes because 3 times 5 is 15. Now, after and over time, you're going to dial this into where you're going to have a standard unload time and reload time for every stop. Let's say this is for mowing, for example, residential lawns. This is probably what most people start. And let's say you're mowing lawns under 12,000 square feet to start off with, and that's totally reasonable. So you're going to have a standard unload and reload time on every job, because you're going to have to take the mowers off the trailer every time, and you're going to have to reload them every time. So what you're going to do is you're going to measure what I call, or I didn't come up with this, I heard this from somebody, but it's called you time yourself from key to key. So that is when you pull up to the site, you turn the key off of the truck, and then when you get back in the truck and you turn the key to start to go to your next stop, that's your start and stop time. So those are real important times to keep track of. And over time, you start with timing yourself, and then you dial it in. You get your unload and your load times or reload times, time those as well, and that helps you dial in those bigger lawns, because the unload and reload times are going to be similar to the small lawns. So that's a big factor. And what you want to get to is how many minutes it takes to complete the job. Let's say it's mowing. How many minutes does it take to mow 1,000 square feet? That's your goal, is to find out what that number is, right? And then over time, you're going to notice that not every 5,000 square foot lawn takes the same amount of time. And so you're going to have a difficulty rating for each one. What I mean by that is say you have a 5,000 square foot lawn that's on a corner lot and it has a sidewalk that goes all the way on the outside, and it has 2 trees in the front, 2 trees in the back. Well, that 5,000 square foot lawn is going to have a higher difficulty rating than a 5,000 square foot lawn that's an interior lot, doesn't have any trees, and only has a sidewalk between the houses in the front. You can do a lot less edging, so there's going to be a difficulty rating associated with some lawns. Things would be, like I said, it would be a corner lot with a sidewalk that goes all the way around. A pool, that pool definitely adds to your difficulty rating. The more trees you have on a property adds to the difficulty rating. If the customer has a key, they lock their gate and they leave a key or something like that, it's going to take you some time to sometimes find the key or knock on the door. You got to get a key. That takes time. And so that has to have a difficulty rating if you want them to be priced for profit every time, right? And then, so you're going to collect all of this data, and then you're going to get ChatGPT. And you're going to plug this data into ChatGPT and prompt it and ask it, what should I charge for this particular service? And you give ChatGPT all of this data, and it's going to shoot you out an accurate price. And so that's what I do. I track all my data throughout the year. At the end of the year, I go over it and I evaluate what our current price structure is and what I need to raise prices according to all of this data, plus inflation and all that stuff. What else? Material costs and all of that. So if you're wondering how to price a job, these are some steps to take. There's more steps in this if you can think of them. Also, download or look for Charles Vanderkooy's book on landscaping jobs. I can't remember the exact title, but if you search Charles Vanderkooy with a V as in Victor, and then Vanderkooy with a K, it's a great book. I highly recommend it. You should be able to find it on Amazon, probably. I don't know. I got mine 25 years ago. Mine's a paperback copy, but I highly recommend that book. So I hope this was helpful to you. If you want to start a partnership with Growlawn, we can take care of the fertilization and weed control. We're always looking for mowing companies that we can refer to our customers to in the Fort Worth area. Also, let's see, we also treat Aledo, Burleson, Cleburne, Weatherford, Arlington, Grand Prairie, and in between. So if you mow lawns and you want to exchange referrals back and forth, Give us a call at 1-800-Lawn Care. Go to uglyweeds.com, comment in the video, and we'll see you on the next one.